Chapter 357, Zishe Sword Emperor, Heavenly Phoenix Divine Maiden, Setting Sun Saber Emperor. Ling Han watched quietly, his eyes gleaming with curiosity. Before him stood Zishe, donned in the thunder battle armor, a perfect suit of battle regalia. It shimmered with sparks of white lightning that danced over the surface, making her appear as though she were a war goddess from ancient myth. To his astonishment, Zishe had long, pointed ears, sharp as those of a rabbit, standing tall and proud atop her head. Her eyes were no longer the gentle orbs they once were. They now gleamed with a stark white light, resembling electric orbs that crackled with hidden energy. Ling Han had only encountered her on a handful of occasions, yet he knew this form was not what she had once appeared to be. Her ears elongated and sharp, the electric pulse in her eyes. It was something far from the human visage he remembered. How could he be so certain it was her? First, her hair, a deep purple, a shade he had only seen in one other person. Second, her face. Despite the odd glow in her eyes, it was unmistakably Zishe. Third, the thunder battle armor. This was her mark, her emblem of strength. Ling Han could not deny that this new appearance of hers was different. It was undeniably captivating. It held a fierce beauty, a different kind of charm that Liu Yutong and Li Xichan could not rival. "They're coming!" Zishe said abruptly, her voice not directed at Ling Han, but at the memory crystal she was activating, her hand steady as she recorded. "I can sense their aura." Sure enough, in the distance, 3 figures emerged. Their movement was deceptively calm, yet each step they took covered hundreds of miles. It was as if they were shrinking space itself, making each stride a leap across vast distances. Despite her speed, Zishe could feel the gap closing rapidly. In mere moments, the distance between them shrank to half a mile. A middle-aged man, his hair white as snow, spoke with cold authority. "Zishe, you're a genius of our race. Why do you wish to betray us? What does the destruction of the human race concern you?" His eyes burned with a bright white light, his forehead marked by a peculiar purple vein, an oddity of both rage and inheritance. His companions shared the same distinctive vein, signifying their kinship. Ling Han's heart tightened as he absorbed the gravity of the words. Destruction of the human race? Had anyone else spoken such vile words, Ling Han would have dismissed them as empty threats. But these 3 men were no ordinary foes. The aura they radiated was no weaker than Zishe, yet it surpassed her in potency. It was the unmistakable aura of the Shattering Void Tear, a level of power that could wipe out all life in a single sweep. "I have lived here for over 3 centuries, Zishe responded coldly, her pace unwavering. "I have long become a part of this world. I will not stand by as you destroy it." Her voice was firm, resolute. It was clear she was not here for a battle of words, but rather to record her stance, using the memory crystal to capture her declaration. The elder on the left sneered, his tone venomous. "You are one of our purple lightning race. You will remain so for life." The one on the right, his expression softer, offered a contrasting approach. "Let us speak calmly, Shuexian. You are one of our most talented. Surely you are merely confused. Come to your senses. Your return to our ancestral lands will be celebrated." Their attacks were as clear as day. One played the stern father while the other wore the guise of a concerned friend. Lower realm Ling Han's heart skipped a beat. The words struck him with unsettling clarity. These were no mere Shattering Void Tear elites. No, these 3 could very well be gods themselves. He could feel the weight of their power, and yet it was strangely restrained. Was this the might of deities from another realm? Zishe, though powerful, was still in the Shattering Void Tear, yet she lacked the purple vein marking the gods. That alone hinted at a gulf in power, one that these 3 were clearly exploiting. Still, despite their superiority, they could not subdue her. "You need not waste your breath," Zishe said, her voice unwavering. "As long as I, Zishe, live, I will stop you." With a fierce growl, the elder in the centre's eyes flared with fury. His hand shot out, grasping at empty air. From his fingers, a white electrical spear materialized, glowing with intricate patterns. It hummed with terrifying energy, a weapon potent enough to shatter mountains. Even from a distance, Ling Han could feel the weight of its power, as though it could strike him down where he stood. Even in his last life, a Heaven Tier elite, he would have had no chance against such a force. With a casual flick of the old man's hand, the spear shot forward, aimed directly at Zi Shuixian. Zi Shuixian reacted in an instant. A circle of crackling electric light flared to life around her, propelling her lithe form into motion. She moved with a speed that defied comprehension, twisting through the air, but then, to Ling Han's horror, the spear altered its course. Following her, Zi Shuixian's body strained with the exertion. The burst of speed had drained her, her face paling as a thin line of blood appeared at the corner of her lips. She would not be able to repeat such a move. With a grimace, she spun to meet the attack, summoning her martial intent in the form of a dozen electric seals that flashed through the air. Lightning crackled fiercely around her, and the air seemed to hum with the energy of the storm. The spear collided with her defences, the impact sending ripples of force through the atmosphere. But the battle was far from over. The three gods drew closer, their combined might pressing down on her. Though their power was overwhelming, Ling Han could sense their restraint. They were holding back, seemingly unwilling to go all out against her. Despite this, Zi Shuixian was not overwhelmed. The battle raged on, and Ling Han could feel the storm of energy that swirled around them, a testament to their strength and resolve. "The power of regulation!" One of the old men spat in frustration, his voice thick with annoyance. Ling Han's mind raced. He recalled the forbidden knowledge he had gathered in his past life. The laws of the mortal realm were in direct conflict with those of the divine, and the god's power was constrained within this world. His theory solidified with the growing tension. These were gods, but their power was being suppressed by the very fabric of the mortal realm. Zi Shuixian, even in the shattering void tier, fought with all her might, determined to stand against the gods who sought to reshape the world. Chapter 358. Everything was a lie. Translator. Dark Angel. Carisi Zishan, a peerless genius, was locked in a battle with three old men, each of their movements shrouded in mystic power. Ling Han stood by, astonished at the sight. This girl, with the power of the shattering void tier, was holding her own against three gods. It was a spectacle of the highest order, one that defied reason and common sense. The mortal realm was not kind to gods, suppressing their true potential, and here Zi Shuixian, though vastly outnumbered, shone like a diamond amidst the storm. Despite her brilliance, the old men were gods, formidable beings whose strength, even suppressed, could drain the vitality of a mere mortal in the blink of an eye. They played a dangerous game, forcing her to exhaust herself in a prolonged battle, making no haste in their pursuit. The three acted in concert, carefully ensuring that Zi Shuixian's every move was met with a counter, wearing her down, yet never quick enough to capture her in a single strike. Zi Shuixian, relentless and full of spirit, would not yield so easily. She gritted her teeth, summoning the thunder battle armor, a treasure of immense power. The white light around her burst forth in waves of thunder, coiling and striking at the three old men like dragons of fury. A loud clash resounded through the air as the three gods struggled to break the onslaught of lightning. For a moment the old men faltered, their movements erratic as they sought to destroy the thunder dragons that attacked them. Taking advantage of this opening, Zi Shuixian swiftly slipped from their grasp, but it was only temporary. The old men pursued her without delay, and another round of fierce fighting ensued. Ling Han clenched his fists. He had long suspected that the thunder battle armor was a level 10 spirit tool, and now it was clear. How else could a single artifact allow a shattering void cultivator to battle gods? Even when suppressed, their might was terrifying. Yet, here was Zi Shuixian, holding her ground, an impressive feat, even for a peerless genius. The thunder battle armor was her trump card, but would it be enough? In the past, Zi Shuixian had ranked fourth among the 7 of them in the heaven tier. But what about now? Was she hiding her true strength, or did the Sword Emperor and the others possess spirit tools of equal caliber? Ling Han's mind raced, filled with questions. He shook his head, his thoughts turning inward. In his previous life, he had focused on alchemy, never paying much attention to martial strength. Now, as he stood in the present, his own battle prowess had surpassed his wildest expectations. Battle prowess above a dozen battle stars, instilled with the power of the Black Tower, was enough to defy the laws of nature. He had no martial arts expertise in his past life. Yet here he was, ranked 7th in the world, standing alongside the greatest warriors. A wave of frustration washed over him. Why had he spent so much energy on alchemy, leaving his martial skills behind? The thought of Sword Emperor, Heavenly Phoenix Divine Maiden, and the others addressing him as Grandmaster, begging for his pills, was enough to make him smile inwardly. Ah, if only they knew. Meanwhile, Zishe-xian's battle continued without pause. Her actions were a symphony of power and grace, each thunderstrike forcing the gods to falter and recalibrate. However, Ling Han was growing tired of the repeated skirmishes. The outcome seemed inevitable. Zishe-xian would escape, only for the cycle to begin anew. The fight had reached a stalemate. The 3 old men, too, seemed to be growing weary of the endless battle. "This thunder battle armor is too much," the old man on the left remarked, his voice tinged with frustration. "Yes," the old man on the right agreed, his tone a mirror of the first. The old man in the centre paused, his mind calculating the next move. "I will use a sliver of divine power to break through the thunder battle armor," he declared after a moment's thought. "Won't that invoke the power of the realm? It will expel you, perhaps even injure you severely," the left side elder warned, his brows furrowing. "Damn the rules!" the central elder snapped, his eyes gleaming with resolve. "If we allow her to expose the secret, the consequences will be disastrous for us. The clan has spent 10,000 years preparing for this moment. We cannot afford failure." The left elder nodded in agreement, reluctantly accepting the plan. "Be careful," he cautioned. The central elder's expression turned cold. "I will control the power," he said, his voice unwavering. A faint white light began to emanate from his eyes as his aura surged violently, signaling the arrival of God-tier power. In that single moment, his strength eclipsed the shattering void tier, transforming him into something far greater. The very air trembled as the aura around him twisted and grew, shattering the heavens with its sheer magnitude. Ling Han could only watch in awe. The difference in power was vast. His previous life's might as a mere heaven-tier cultivator was nothing compared to the boundless strength of a god. The vastness of this power made him feel like a mere speck of dust in a vast ocean. The 2 other old men immediately retreated, realizing the danger of staying too close to such overwhelming strength. A crack appeared in the fabric of space behind the central elder, a gaping maw that opened without warning. It swallowed him whole. Ling Han's eyes widened in surprise. The expulsion from the realm had taken place swiftly, but not without consequence. As the crack began to close, a white lightning spear shot out, its power immeasurably stronger than before. The sheer force of this attack made even the air itself shudder. The lightning spear streaked through the air, its patterns twisting in a dance of deadly precision. Ling Han's heart clenched. This was no longer just power, it was martial intent, a will to dominate that could crush all in its path. Zishe-xian, despite her incredible speed and agility, was caught off guard. The lightning spear pierced through her chest, tearing through the thunder battle armor as if it were paper. A hole appeared in her armor, and her body was impaled. "Ah!" Zishe-xian cried out in pain, her body trembling as the life drained from her. The heart, shattered by the might of the divine attack, left her gasping for air. Ling Han's heart sank. Was this the end of Zishe-xian? Had she really fallen here? But as he watched in stunned silence, Zishe-xian, with all the strength she could muster, tore away the thunder battle armor and fled with desperate speed. Her voice echoed through the air as she shouted, "Boundless mountain! Clear Harmony Palace Hall holds the key. Everything you have been told is a lie. The truth lies there and you must find it." The armor, now drained of its brilliance, was tossed into the sky. Zishe-xian's figure grew smaller and smaller until it vanished from view, leaving only the silent memory of her final words. Ling Han's mind raced. What had she meant? The thunder battle armor, a treasure that contained the truth, was now on its own journey. Its memory crystal had surely recorded the events, but what secret had it held? Only time would tell. With a heavy heart, Ling Han realized that Zishe-xian had not fallen in vain. She had left behind a trail, a message hidden within the depths of the world, waiting to be uncovered. And so the story continued. The battle had ended, but the true conflict was only just beginning.